Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing readings that are messages from your inner cub. What? Don't you mean inner child? No, I do not, because this is going beyond inner child. This is basically, because inner child is still human. We're going to go deep beyond that to what is informing the inner child, which is your sense of being a very small creature in a very big universe. So these are going to be messages from, yes, I have a mammalian bias. So, but it's hard to, like, cub is quick and easy to say, whereas chick has unpleasant connotations, and baby lizard doesn't really roll off the tongue as well, and fry just kind of... Anyway, so your inner cub, messages from your inner cub. So I have 4 cards from Beautiful Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Will you choose one or all of these, which will have a message for you from your inner cub that is important? I don't know what that is that just fell on here. So will you go with card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, or card number 4? I will be reading using the bone runes because I thought it was fitting. And I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! Hello, card number 1, people. So let's turn the card and see the beginning of the message that you have from your inner cub. And we have regeneration. So what your inner cub is telling you is this idea of... I'm having a Doctor Who flashback. So I'm going to lay down the runes while I talk. It's sort of just this connection to nature and the world, and the way that, look at that, and the way that things do continually regenerate, and there are always new beginnings, and there are always there's just this faith, that this inherent faith that things will continue, that the creatures have. They just continue life and energy and things. That was incredibly vague, but we're going to go to the runes now. No, but it's the sense of, your inner cub is telling you. It's like that card in the White Light Oracle about just that just simple faith of that one is going to continue, kind of thing. So your central issue in the reading with the runes, this is the Elder Futhark on bone, is Berkana. So Berkana is the rune of the birch tree. This has to do with beginnings and birth. So as with the card, the inner cub is telling you, it's just you are continually unfolding and unfurling. Leading up to this, you've basically been going on your journey up until this point, but maybe things are starting to look like this without the word. Like, my gosh, what is all this? Look at all the living things who completely take themselves apart on their journey of development. I mean, you look at something like a caterpillar that completely turns to goo inside of its cocoon. You get things like, tadpoles that turn into frogs, things that are completely different when they are at a later stage of their lives than they are when they start. So this is sort of the thing. It's like you've been going along in a certain form, in a certain way, and it feels like everything is ending. But what the inner cub is reminding you is have faith in the continual regeneration of things. So what is going to help you in this point where you're like, there's this rebirth happening? We have algae, which is the rune of the elk. This has to do with protection and support. I'm sorry, I'm checking this one thing because this rune set has a very strange Sovilo, and that's what that is. I just wanted to make sure that it was the Sovilo and not the Hagalas that I was seeing. So what is going to help you in this moment where you're experiencing this rebirth is algae, which is the rune of protection and support, is reversed on the upper line. So it does have to do with you are protecting yourself, you are standing up for yourself, and you are supporting yourself. So you can do this alone. And the fact that you can do this alone will give you the confidence that you need. This is just something that you are doing alone. This is your journey. This is your regeneration. So only you can do this, really. And so to be confident about that, because that's something that you just have to do. What you're worried about is, what isn't helping is Sovila, which is the rune of the sun. This has to do with energy levels and worries about that. So You are worried about the energy levels that you may or may not have in order to go through with this, but just basically have faith in nature. Have faith in just the deep nature of things, that this renewal and unfurling is happening. Your next step, and also just the fact that you're the only one who can do this. So it's just like you're going to do this. You are going to go through this. It is for you. Your next step on the path line is we have Vunyo reversed. Vunyo is the rune of joy. Reversed on the path line, I am going to read it a couple ways. First of all, you are going to become very aware of where your discontentments are. I mean, it's just like when you're growing, you have these moments where you're like, okay, I don't like that. And things where you grow into where you're able to either like be okay with it eventually, like grow enough rings around it that you're like, okay, this is life, or you will address them and deal with them. The second way I'm going to read this is seek your joy within. Whatever you're doing and whatever you're growing, make sure that you have access to joy within yourself, so that as you move forward on the path, you're drawing from that, and that's going to be something that is going to be expressed through your growth, through your regeneration, because as long as you got that tapped in, that's where your light is the most in terms of where it's coming through. As long as you have that within you, nobody can take it from you if it's within you, and you are regrowing, regenerating, and that's coming through. And so as long as you are tapped into what does bring you joy, and you are seeking that, as well as resonating with that and connecting with that, that's going to help you also. What is going to help you on this step where you're actually doing this is Ingvaz. So this really speaks to the second read on it, which is the second read on the first read of it, which is that it's that whole, to have the grace to accept what I can't change and the courage to change what I can. That's basically what this is saying. We have Ingvaz, which is Ing's rune. This is Ing, another name for Frey, which is the fertility god. This has to do with active creation. So you are basically using what you have to control what you can at this stage. So where you're becoming aware of discontentments, things that are not comfortable for you, you are basically working with whatever you have to make your surroundings more to your taste, basically. So that's something that you can do. There's always something you can do. So if it's something that is really uncomfortable, then you can work on that. You can say, what is it that I can do, that I have access to do right now to help me with this as I move forward into this new regeneration of mine that I am going forward with, as I am rebirthing in the world, and as I am continually unfolding and unfurling and becoming. There are going to be things that are going to be uncomfortable that I'm going to have to deal with. I can use what I have to control what I can and to try to deal with that in the best way possible for me. What isn't going to help is fear of the unknown. This is all brand new. So just like worries about the energy levels that you don't know if you have, you are worried about what there is to come because it's all new. And that whole thing about, okay, well, if it's all new, then how can you have negative experiences? Like, well, yes, you can. I get it. Like, I get the whole Zen thing about that. Yes. However, if something comes up and like a tiger comes up and bites your leg off, and that's a new experience, you're not going to be like, oh, this new experience. So you're going to be like, ow. So there are worries about this. There are things that you don't know about this new experience that you're having. I'm not putting down Zen at all. I completely respect it, but that just always made me, it's like, okay, I love that idea in theory. However, a tiger biting your leg off is not going to be a pleasant experience, even if it's something you've never experienced before. I'm a bit of a pragmatist as far as that goes. Not in many things, but in that. So anyway, that's probably why I'm reading runes. So anyway, we have what is going to help you is, in that case, like, even if it's something that you don't know, you are prepared for whatever it is that is going to come, because whatever it is, you are going to work with what you have to control what you can and try to make things better. Your next step on the path line is we have Othala reversed. Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland. This has to do with sanctuary, solace, etc., but it's reversed on the path line. And there are those three ways that I always read Othala reversed. 1, moving outside of your comfort zone. 2, finding home within. And 3, letting go of things that no longer serve. And all 3 apply in this case because you are in a state of rebirth and regeneration. So make sure that you have, it's just like finding your joy within. You're going to find your home within. You're going to find a home status, like sort of a foundational home status within yourself that nobody can take from you. Secondly, well, that was second, but anyway, stepping outside of your comfort zone, definitely important for growing and unfurling and regenerating. And third, letting go of things that no longer serve you. You know, it's like the egg tooth. See, I'm not just mammalian biased. It's just, I was mammalian biased when I named this video. So it's basically, it's like the egg tooth. You don't need it after you've hatched, so you don't need to carry around this egg tooth. Although that's a really cute cartoon idea. But anyway, so it just basically letting go of things that no longer serve. So a lot of things are going on in this stage. Once you've reached this stage, you know, a couple steps on from your rebirth, what is going to help you is just confidence. You know, you've gotten this far, and you know, any first steps in a birth, as any baby sea turtle can tell you, are the most dangerous. So you've gotten to this point where not only have you sought and latched onto your inner joy, but you have sought and latched onto your inner home, which is very, very good. And you've reached this point where you can work with what you have to control what you can, and you're feeling pretty confident. You've done this yourself, basically. So confidence is definitely going to help you. Knowing your worth, knowing your inner worth is definitely going to help. Fehu is the wealth and worth rune, so it's your cattle, but it's the wealth that you tend. So the things that you, as long as you're taking care of them, they will make your life rich and make you feel of worth. So this is basically the inner version of it, because it's reversed. And that's what's going to help you in this stage where you are, you know, finding your inner home, letting go of things that no longer serve, and stepping outside of your comfort zone. What is not going to help is, just like this, you are worried about surprises. You're worried about anything, like not even negative surprises. You're just worried about something coming up that you hadn't anticipated. So that's because you've built it up to a certain point, and now you're letting go of things. Whenever you let go of things, you're always worried, like, tomorrow is the day I'm going to need it. So what if I wake up and I'm in an egg again? I'm going to need this egg tooth. So it's like, you're just worried in general about, at that stage, about things coming up that you hadn't anticipated. But if that's the case, just bring yourself back up to remembering how confident you feel, remembering your worth, remembering that you've gotten this far so far, and you have the tools already, like working with what you have to control what you can, that are going to get you past this, whatever it is that comes up. So just be confident, you'll be okay. And from then on, you will just feel much more expansive. We have Kaunas, which is the rune of opening out and expanding. It's the torch or the fire. So it's something that starts small and expands out like an ember into a blaze, but hopefully not an actual blaze. So basically, once you reach that point, it's all not downhill, but it becomes more instinctive, and you're sort of, you can roll with it. You basically you sort of know the drill by that point. So that, card number 1, people, is your message from your inner cub. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 2, people. Welcome. We are doing this reading about this message from your inner cub. So let's turn the card from the beautiful wisdom of the Oracle deck and see the initial part of the message from your inner cub. Orphaned. Oh my gosh, you guys, or girls, or whatever you identify as. I am so sorry. So basically, your inner cub is feeling as though it is out in the world without support. And that is very sad, and I am sorry. And so your message is that this is, at the very least, your inner cub is saying that you are seen as that. Like, you are not seen as that, but like you are being seen. It recognizes, or it is saying this to you, that it feels as though, and if you feel this way, then this is you being seen. Basically, you're getting the confirmation against what your message is from the inner cub. So let's see what there is to clarify this, because this is going to be important for both of you, for your inner cub as well as everything that comes after that. Yeah, so you've really had to work with what you have to make out of the world what you need it to be. And that's, if you look at the natural world, there are a lot of creatures that start life without having any outside support. It's just them on their own. And I'm not saying that like it's like, oh, and that one oughtn't to grieve, because one ought to. However, as far as the nature goes, that's something that is there. So your central issue is on this reading, this message from your inner cub, which is, I would give you a hug virtually. So we have Ingbaz, which is the rune of Ing. Ing is another name for Frey, and Frey is the fertility god. And this has to do with active creation. And so in your life, the central issue here is that you have felt as though you've always had to be the one to make the world around you livable for you. You are the one who has had to take care of things. You've had to basically, even if you've had to sort of change what reality is around you, you have had to do that. This is something that you have actively had to do in your life to make yourself comfortable in the world. Leading up to this, we have Raido reversed. Again, this is the second reading I've done where Raido was the reading up until this point. So it's like you have been journeying up until this point, that you've been going along and doing this, and now you're feeling like either you've realized that you've always been doing this, or it may be that you suddenly feel as though you have lost important support around you that you wish you had, and that you took nourishment and nurturing from. And so right now you're in a situation where you feel like it's all in your hands now. So I'm so sorry. This is really upsetting, and we love you. What is going to help? So we have Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. This has to do with, honestly, I will read this as like chaos or things that are out of your control. However, there is that other element of nature, which is why I was speaking about nature earlier. The thing about it is, it's okay. So all the things. First of all, acknowledge that one of the reasons you're doing this is that there are things that are out of your control. One of the reasons you're doing this is that there is chaos. There are things that are like weather that blow in and are destructive, and you have to just ride them out. On the other hand, you too are a force of nature, and you too are a part of nature, and you can have as much a voice in the song of nature as the hailstorm does. So it's a reminder of that, is that you are just as powerful in your way. And so while you are trying to rearrange your nest here, so that it is more comfortable and more protective for you now that you feel orphaned, or if you had always felt orphaned to a certain extent, this is where you're like, no, you know what? I know how to do this. I instinctively know how to do this. This is instinct. So I know. And you are working with this, and just letting your nature express itself is definitely going to help you. What isn't going to help is it is challenging. It is a big challenge. It's not an impossible challenge, but it's something you have to step up to and do. We have Thurzaz, which is the rune of the thorn, the giant, the gateway. It's a challenge rune. So it is upright. It's not reversed. Reversed is a challenge that feels impossible. So it is upright, but it's still a thing. It's like something that maybe you were going along and suddenly you're in this situation. So it's like it's like a challenge that you hadn't meant to do, or you had hoped you wouldn't have to do, but it's something that you are in the situation of doing, where you're sort of rebuilding your nest, or constructing your nest in this case, to be protective for you and to provide for yourself what you had or wished you had provided by what is not with you, basically. If this starts to be of great challenge, just to remind yourself that you do have this. You do have as much power as anything else. You do have your voice in the song, and you are of nature and a force of nature, and you can do this. What your next step is we have Ansuz. Ansuz is the rune of communication and manifestation. This goes along with this, where you're expressing your nature. But yes, express, create, communicate. This is basically going to be, it's upright, so it's basically you are going to be connecting with others and communicating and creating and expressing yourself in the world, whether it's just you expressing your nature in the world, or you just expressing your presence in the world, because that's something that a lot of people have issues with, where you feel like you just want the world to, you feel as though you are not welcome, and you feel as though everybody else is allowed to be here, but not me. That is wrong. You are absolutely essential here. So you need to be here the universe needs you. So express yourself in the world. You are here in order to do that. That's where you're going to reach after this point, where you're going to be like, you're going along, and then all of a sudden maybe this happened, or maybe all of a sudden you realize this had happened or was happening or had always happened, and there's people in the hallway, and then you reached a point where you're like, no, here I am. I have built my nest. I am expressing myself in the world. What is going to help you? We have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of the water. This has to do with all the watery stuff, so emotion, intuition, and heart, and flow. This is basically, I'm going to say, tapping into your inner flow. But also to surf negative emotions, like be aware of them, acknowledge them, sit with them and let them be, but don't identify as them. Like let them be what's running just under the surface. Acknowledge them, definitely acknowledge them. Like that's really important. Face your negative emotions, sit with them, but also you're going to let them be your inner flow. They're like weather. So it's like weather. So they are like weather. You're going to let them flow, and that's what's going to help you continually express in the world. What isn't going to help is we have Tivaz reversed. Tivaz is tears rune. I'm going to read this a couple ways. First of all, don't give up. Straight up, don't give up. If you give, that's not going to help you. Giving up is not going to help you. Tivaz is the warrior god riding forward, but Tivaz is also Tyr as the king that he is, which is representing what a good king is, who is somebody who does what needs to be done. When it's upright, it's like just taking care of duties and responsibilities. When it's reversed, it's inner. So you may be worried about taking care of your inner duties and responsibilities. That might drag you down, but you're already doing it. So if that starts to be the case, just what's going to drag you down from that is worry and fear and all the unpleasant emotions. Bring yourself back up to where you are acknowledging these, letting them flow. So, but mostly I'm seeing this as a big message of don't give up. That's basically, giving up will not help, so just continue. So says your inner cub. Your next step is things are going to start to be revealed to you. We have Pertha, which is the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate. The surprises that it has to do with are the surprises of things that were always there. When you cast your lot, what was inside the lot box was always in the lot box. It was already there. So what is being revealed was what was always there. So you are actually getting things revealed to you at this point, which were always the case, but you weren't aware of them yet. And as you sort of had to express your way to them. So you get to this point where, okay, things are starting to be revealed. Things are easier in terms of being revealed to me. And then what is helping you at that stage is you're going to feel a lot more confident. You're going to feel a lot more able to stand up in this, because this has been revealed to you, and you're like, okay, you know what? I got myself to this point. I can stand up, and this is whatever is going to show itself to me. I'm going to say I can take that, but I can handle that, and I can acknowledge that, and I can stand up and be with it. What isn't going to help is you're worried about energy levels. We have Sovila, which is the rune of the sun. Also just, heat levels as far as pressure. This may make you feel pressured to a certain extent. But I also just basically worried about energy levels. If that starts to be the case, bring yourself back up to where you are standing up and you're saying, I can support myself. I can protect myself. Even if this is the case, I can support myself. I can protect myself. What this is all going to lead you to is we have Avaz reversed. Avaz is the horse. This has to do with movement and spirit. So I'm also going to read this one a couple ways. First of all, you will feel not as likely to run around crazy and wear yourself out, which is important. You will feel that you'll be able to actually relax into things to a certain extent. You won't feel as spooked. You won't feel as ready to run around and just basically waste your energy. You're going to be able to conserve the energy and just sort of relax into it. You're going to be okay. The other thing I'm going to read this as far as spirit goes, you are following your spirit within. This is what's going to carry you forward. So you always are going to want to have that tapped into, because that's what's going to carry you forward. If anything is going to take care of you in ways that whatever you have lost or never had would have, it's going to be your connection to spirit, whatever spirit is for you. So that, card number 2, people, is your reading for your message from your inner cub. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 3, people. So let's turn this card and see what your message is from your inner cub. Come to the edge. Ooh, you have an adventurous little inner cub. You are peeking out of your den and you are ready to sniff the air and see what there is over there, because you kind of have a feeling that you weren't always meant to stay in the den. So let's get some runes down and see how this is going to be clarified. Ooh, it's like you have an appointment. It's like you have a prior agreement with yourself to do this. This is very exciting. Ooh, yes. My adventurous little cub. This is very exciting. I'm just laying out the whole reading and then I'll go to it. And finally, very nice. Okay, card number 3, people. Your central issue is Gebo. Gebo is the rune of the gift. The gift was always an exchange, so it's basically agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. So it's like you have this instinctive sense of an inner plan or an inner goal or just something that you've agreed with yourself on at some point, but you have this plan. And leading up to this, things have not been flowing. We have Lagu's reversed, which is the water. It's emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. I'm really seeing it in its flow aspect in this, because you're going up to this point and things just haven't been flowing. So now you're getting this push. You gotta go. You gotta move. It's like the little baby turtles going to the ocean. It's basically like you gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's like you have to do it. It's scary, but you gotta do it. Just come to the edge. Do it. What is going to help you is every step you take out of your comfort zone is something that you're going to learn about yourself. We have Pertho reversed. Pertho's the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate. It's always something, as far as the surprise goes, it's always something that it was always there, but you didn't realize it. So you're going to learn things about yourself by doing this, by going on and just basically taking on this agreement and this goal that you got, just like going for it. You're going to learn things about this. Every step, you're going to learn something about yourself, because it is reversed, so that's inner. You're going to learn something about yourself that's going to surprise you, but it's also very exciting, and it's what's going to carry you forward. It's going to be what makes you want to continue with this goal of, like, you have a plan, you have something you want to do in your life. Even if you don't know what it is, you've got this instinctive feeling, as the inner cub is telling you. It's like, you've got to move, you've got to go step out into the sun or into the ocean, as the case may be, depending on what creature you are. So what isn't going to help is we have Hagalaz. This is the rune of the hailstorm. So this has to do with chaos and things that are out of your control. That is terrifying. And that's why you have hesitated. That's what your inner cub knows. This is why you've hesitated, because the universe is humongous and dangerous, and there are hailstorms and things that are going to eat the little turtle. So you basically, it's terrifying. There are things that are out of your control. However, you have this inside you. It's burning inside you. This, like, I've just got to do this. And so do it, because you're going to learn things about yourself. And if you start to let this terrify you, you're not going to do anything. So get yourself out there. Let yourself learn about who you are by doing this terrifying thing. Your next step is we have Ansu's reversed. Ansu's the rune of communication and manifestation. Reversed, I'm going to read it a couple of ways. First of all, inner communication and inner manifestation. So basically, you're going to basically be very much connected with your inner voice, which this is anyway. This is you basically saying you need to get out there. You need to do the thing. The instinct is just basically coaching you to do the thing. So there's that. You're listening to that. You're connected with that inner voice, whatever that is for you. The other thing it is listening, being silent so that you can listen. Because you're going to do this, and then you are not going to be reckless about it, but you are going to do it. And you're going to go out there and you're going to listen really, really carefully. So in that stage, what's going to help you? First of all, you are unfurling from within. And this is all basically, even this one, this is basically, it's like you're learning things about yourself, and through the things that you're learning about yourself, you are becoming. But the becoming is very, very deep. It's like a very deep incubation that's happening, and that's actually what's helping you with this. You're listening, but everything, just like every step you take outside of your comfort zone, is you're learning something about yourself. Every moment that you listen is building on your inner you that you are birthing. So this is Berkana. It's the rune of the birch tree and birth. It's new beginnings, but it's like inner new beginnings. So it's like really, really deep beginnings of things that are coming up and building on themselves and becoming, but it's not ready to be born yet, but it's almost there. So it's like you're almost there. Just every time you listen and really get a feel for what's outside and what's over the edge is going to help you with that. What isn't going to help is not doing anything. We have Avaz, which is the horse. This has to do with movement and spirit. It is reversed on the lower line. And so basically it's saying not moving is not going to help you. You definitely need to be moving forward. So if you basically refuse to move forward, even after you've had this moment, it's like come to the edge, you've got this instinct basically calling to you, you basically say nope, 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 and you turn around and you basically lie down and don't. That's not going to help you. You're not going to become what you could be. You're not going to be able to listen and get a sense of things, and you're not going to have that connection. Well, you are going to have that connection with your inner voice, but it's going to be, you're going to be like nope, 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 and that's not going to help you. Sorry, Avaz, it's the horse's movement and spirit. It's reversed and it's lower. So it's like you're basically saying nope. If you do that, you may be tempted to do that. If you do that, you're not going to be able to happily move forward the way that you could if you were what you're doing over here, which is allowing yourself to incubate and to become, which is what the Berkana reversed is. It's basically this deep inner incubation where you're becoming more and more who you are based on what you're learning about yourself every step you take. So it's very exciting. You're in this stage where you're listening and you're becoming. Your next step is setting out. Absolutely setting out. We have Tivaz, which is the rune of Tyr. This is the warrior god. This has to do with riding forward on whatever quest, but also with taking care of things that need to be taken care of. So, because that's what Tyr was. He took care of things that needed to be taken care of. So you are both setting out, you're riding forward, but you're also making sure that everything is the way that it needs to be. Everything is taken care of. Your needs, duties and responsibilities are being taken care of, and you are riding forward into where you need to be based on this agreement that you have in your instinct that's going, do it. So what is going to help you is see this as your challenge. This is your open door. The open door is for you. We have Thurizaz, which is the thorn, the giant, the gateway. It's the challenge rune. It's what's helping you. So embrace that. You're ready to go forward. Embrace that. This is yours. The door is only open for you as per Kafka. But not as depressingly. It's very exciting. It's really exciting. I mean, look at this. You have this drive, and the door is open. And once you reach this stage where you've learned a little more about yourself and where you have developed what you are becoming and what you are birthing of yourself, and where you have listened, you're ready to ride forward. The door is open. That's what's going to help you the most. Just seeing that open door and like, this is mine. What isn't going to help is we have Algiz reversed. So Algiz is the rune of the elk. This is also known as the moose if you're in North America. It is reversed on the lower line. So this has to do with protection and support. Reversed on the lower line, it's worries that you don't have the protection or support that you would like. Be that as it may, you have come so far already as you are, just basically listening to this instinct telling you, just come, do it, come to the edge, do this, do the thing that you were made to do, that you were born to do, and ride towards that door, which is your door and no one else's. Very exciting, very exciting. So Your outcome on this rune spread message from your inner cub is Uruz, and Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health and stubbornness, not necessarily stubbornness in a bad way, stubbornness in a I am immovable and I am strong. So just basically inherently strong, inherently grounded, inherently able to stand up for yourself because you did this, because you rode forward and because you embraced your challenge. You're going to come out on the other side of it being very, very solid indeed and very, very strong. And that's your message from your inner cub. Your inner cub wants to grow up and be an aurochs. Which is very exciting. So that card number 3, people, is your message from your inner cub. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello to all of you who chose card number 4. Let's turn this card over and see what your message is from your inner cub. To be fair, so your inner cub has a very strong sense of fairness, and they have proven that creatures do have that. There's a really cool video of these monkeys. I don't know how cool a video it is, but it's a very interesting video about these monkeys where they're giving, the one monkey is they're both giving both the monkeys a cucumber, which they both like. But then, oh my gosh, what was the other thing? It was like, I'm trying to remember what the other fruit was, like a grape or something. It was like it was better than the cucumber. And the monkey that was getting the cucumber was seeing the other monkey getting a grape for like whatever, the same thing that the monkey who was getting the cucumber was getting. And the monkey getting the cucumber got really, really mad. And who can blame it? So basically your inner cub is saying you have an inherent sense of fairness. It's instinct. It's like in your cells. So whatever this message is we're about to get, it's going to be about that. It's going to be about, no, you know what? No matter how much anybody's going to try to gaslight you that a cucumber is as good as a grape, if you're a monkey, you know better. So let's get... I don't remember what the other fruit is, I'm sorry, and I could like Google it and like YouTube it and find out because it's on there. But I don't have time right now, so I'm going to just continue with the reading. Rhytho Reversed has been the first rune in every single, well, all but one of the readings I've done today, which is fascinating. Like, all of these are like, you have traveled up until this point, and then suddenly, bang, this thing has happened, and now you have to deal with it, and your inner cub is here to help. So that's quite neat. Quite neat. That's just like the little one, and it looks like a tooth, but it's actually the blank rune. So, alrighty. It's our outcome. Neat. Okay. So, card number 4, people. Your message from your inner cub. First of all, your central issue is Ansus, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. So it's you expressing yourself in the world. And it looks like, based on this, you are expressing that something is not fair and that you maybe have been going along pretending as though it was, but it's not. And you need to realize that you do know this. And no matter what anybody's telling you, that it's all the same and it's all fine, you know this. Instinctively, your inner cub is shaking you and going, no, you know that this is not fair. So you are now in a situation where you're going to express this. And this is, you've sort of been gearing up to this. You get to this point, it's like, well, you're like, wait a minute. I'm doing the same thing as the other monkey. I deserve a grape, at least. So here we are. So that's basically, you know, the main message. What is going to help you is Isa. Isa is the rune of ice. This has to do with stillness and standstill. I'm going to actually bring in the younger Futhark meaning on this in a minute, but mostly I'm going to talk about the stillness and standstill thing first, because one of the things about the stillness that Isa represents is it's the stillness through which clarity comes. So what is going to help you when you express this is to be cool. First of all, it is ice. Don't just do it in a passionate way, although you totally would just, like, it would be totally in your rights to do it passionately because, oh my gosh. But sometimes if you do something like that, then people just go, well, you're crazy. And then the person who was taking advantage of you and gaslighting you is like, well, look at that. Look how crazy they are. No wonder. Says they don't deserve a grape. You deserve a grape. So So first of all, basically chill. Like basically you're going to express this in a way that you are going to be seen as incredibly fair when you do it. Like any outside observer is going to be like, no, they're right. They have absolutely the point that they are making. So you are going to express this, but try to stay cool about it. You're not going to be cool with the situation. You are going to be cool about, you're going to say, hey, you know what? Here's the situation. Any reasonable person would see that the situation is such and such. The other thing about it is, again, stillness through which clarity comes. So you are going to not speak until you have it very, very clear so you actually just give yourself a moment to let the clarity come through so that you can speak it as clearly as possible. So that, again, that whole clause about any reasonable person would hear what you're going to say and say, yeah, you know what, that's not fair. So, or what you're talking about is a situation that is not fair. So you definitely need that. The younger Futhark read on the ice rune is bridge. So there is that suggestion of building a bridge with not the person who's been treating you unfairly, but the reasonable people who will help you. But that's not, this is the Elder Futhark. So basically it's saying just basically be cool and make sure that when you do express yourself, it is going to be as clear as possible and that you have your means of expression as clear as possible. What isn't going to help is you want to express something, there's like that extra, I'm getting this sense of like you're going to make it's like revenge or punishment or just basically forcing something. We have Ingvaz, which is Ing's rune. This is active creation. So it's in the part that is not going to help. So, I mean, lots of things are just pouring in and trying to be said. So basically, first of all, forcing something to be don't make it sound worse than it is. It's bad. Or the Inner Cub wouldn't be saying this is not fair and you need to deal with this. It's not good, but it's not as bad as you would like to make it sound to make people understand, because then they'll be like, well, no, but it wasn't as bad as that, was it? So you basically did avoid fabrication, be as clear as possible. The other thing about this is don't try to force things to be don't rush in and go wrestle. Don't go and wrestle anybody. Don't wrestle. No wrestling unless you are a wrestler, in which case that's what you do. But basically you're not, I mean, again, I'm getting this sense of oh yeah, you did this and I'm going to do it to you twice. It's like that's going to not make things better, and that's not going to make things better for you either. It's just not. So you want to make things clear and you want to express this in a way that is clear and that any reasonable person would see as completely clear and make sense. Don't make things worse by becoming something that you wouldn't want to deal with. So basically what this is saying is if this starts, you'd be tempted to do it because you're mad at this point, but bring it back up to, I'm going to be cool and I'm going to be clear, and that's going to help me express what's going on. Your next step is we have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of the lake. This has to do with all the watery stuff, emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. There is going to be a flow that will sort of stop at this point. Maybe it's the flow of the unfair thing, or maybe it's the connection that led to that unfair thing that you kind of maybe hoped to keep, or maybe not. Maybe whatever this is will run out at this point. Whatever it is, what is going to help you is to tend your needs. We have Nauthiz, which is the rune of need. It is upright, so it's not drop everything and tend your needs, but it's okay, you stopped this, or whatever it is has stopped. Now it's up to you. Get your own grape. Basically. I wish I could remember what the other thing was. Anyway, but yeah, once this stops, once you stand up and you say the thing, and if it's been a malicious situation, then the person will be like, well, you're no fun anymore, and maybe try to make you look bad or whatever else they do. But anyway, whatever it is, once you stood up and said the thing, something is going to stop. There's going to be a flow of something that was going on that is going to stop. there may be negative emotions involved, like there may be unpleasant emotions involved, or there may be like a lack of emotion involved, which is another thing that might be. It might be like, wow, that person felt nothing, or it's like suddenly I feel nothing. There's like that is also a possibility. But either way, there was a flow that was going on that will sort of just trickle out, like end. And then that's when it's up to you. It's like it is now in your hands to get your own grape or whatever else it is that you need. But that's fine, because you can do this, and it's empowering. And you're like, okay, you know what? Now it is up to me to ensure the flow of what I need. What isn't going to help is we have Kaunas. Kaunas is the rune of the torch or the fire, and it has to do with expansion and opening out. It is in the lower line, so it's I'm going to say it's like in terms of this, it's talking about this. So in that thing where you wanted to make things, you were like so mad, and you just wanted, there's like a revenge sort of thing coming up in this, and it's like this is going to continue. Like you're still going to be mad, you're still dealing with the trauma of it, so that's still there. And it may even feel like it's getting worse. Like after this it's like you will feel like even though it ended, and you're taking things into your hands now, you still will feel like you deserve, recompense for this. The person doing it deserved punishment for it. And that's not always going to happen. You will see people get away with things. And, all you can do is just try to, take care of yourself. And sometimes it's not going to be a fair thing. Sometimes it's not going to be a thing where you will see justice. It's just going to be, if you are able to take things into your own hands at this point, and whatever it was that was being unfair has been stopped, that's sometimes all that you're going to get. And that's life. And you are at least going to be able to be as fair as possible to yourself. So if this starts to be the case, it's like, you're going to get really upset about it, and you have to deal with it. It's part of trauma. It's part of dealing with trauma. Do whatever you need to do, tend your needs. And if getting help to deal with this trauma is part of that, then that's part of tending your needs. It's like, this is something that I need to deal with now that has stopped and I'm taking care of things for myself. It's important. So do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Definitely tend your needs. Your next step is, it's going to be new ground, because this has been going on for a while, and you're going to be like, okay, well, you know what? This is new ground. And what is going to help with that is we have Dagas. It's the breaking of the day. It's a new world. The sun is rising on a new world, and you are able to see a big overview of this new ground around you and this new world around you, and the sun has risen. And so it's definitely good. Like, it's a brighter world. It's a better world. And you have a lot more say in what's going on in it, which is really good. And also just like you're seeing things, and that you're seeing that what you were going through was not the whole world, thankfully. It's just what was going, this nasty little thing you were locked into. So there's that. That's what's going to help you with that. It's just like the illumination. What isn't going to help is we have Hagalas. This is the rune of the hailstorm. This has to do with chaos and things that are out of your control. So there's still that worry that, if it happened before, it could happen again. What if it happens again? What if I end up being in the same sort of situation? Things that are out of my control. Remind yourself that this was in your control. You finally stood up. You expressed what was going on. You expressed it clearly, and then you took care of your own needs. And then you are now standing in a new world as a result, a much brighter world that is fully illuminated. So if this starts to frighten you, bring yourself back up to that. It's like, I can see clearly now the rain has gone. Or the lyrics that I probably have mangled at this point. Your next step and the outcome of this reading and what this will lead you to is you are going to be incubating a new you. We have Berkana reversed, which is the rune of the birch tree and birth and beginnings. It is reversed, meaning inner, so you are having a new you incubate at this point. Once you find yourself in this new world, on this new ground, and you're able to see everything clearly, this is where you are going to be able to start fresh. You're going to start to feel yourself reborn. And it's going to start really small, but you're going to feel it. It's like, oh no, you know what? This is a new me that's starting. So that, card number 4, people, is your message from your inner cub. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.